it's Emmy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Emmy and I am the go-to nutritionist for weight loss on a plant-based diet. I am also the creator of the Slim on Starch program where my clients lose anything from the last 5 pounds to up to 70 pounds. In today's video, I'm sharing with you, honeys, the 4 reasons why you are likely not at your goals, let's say, when it comes to the vegan diet. You're not happy with the weight that you're at on your vegan diet. And before I forget, make sure that you click subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you can be a healthy honey and be notified every time the freshest advice comes out on plant-based weight loss. Woo! Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the reasons as to why you're still not at the weight that you want to be at on a vegan diet. Reason number 1 is that you're working against yourself and not with yourself. This is probably a phenomenon that once I describe it, you'll realize, oh my goodness, I am doing this in a lot of other aspects in my life not related to weight loss. So first, I titled this video, Why You're Still Fat on a Vegan Diet. I don't speak that way, but I wanted to title it that so that if you are speaking to yourself this way, you can come over, become a healthy honey, and no longer speak to yourself in that way and no longer work against yourself, but instead work with yourself. So I want you to picture it like this. There is you, and then there's this other version of you that's facing you and just berating you for everything you do. You should do this, you shouldn't do that. This shouldn't be the weight that you be at. You get on the scale and they say that's fat. You need to stop eating this, you need to start eating that, you need to start exercising more. You're working against yourself. And when 2 forces are pushing against one another, guess what? You're not gonna be moving forward. So instead of you working against you and pushing against one another, what I want you to do is turn around and work with yourself. Imagine it like you've put your arm around yourself and now you're going to move forward and guide yourself forward instead of working against yourself and saying you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Instead, let's learn about how we can improve and love ourselves and take ourselves along on this journey instead of being the slave driver to ourselves. One of my clients, Sammy, actually posted in our group and she said, this hasn't been a journey of weight loss for me as much as it's been a journey of self-love. Sammy had tremendous results and we had such an incredible time working together for nearly 8 months it's been. And she said, I have never learned so much about myself or gone to a place where I love myself this much and I'm in love with the life that I have for myself. And that was because I joined a weight loss program. She came into this program to lose weight and she left being the most vibrant, unbelievable version of herself because she stopped working against herself and started working with herself. And that's when the health came. Reason number 2 why you're still where you are on your vegan diet is because you are what I call hyper hungry. What I tend to find is that when people adopt a vegan diet, now that they're vegan, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm vegan. Vegans only eat fruits and vegetables. They're rabbits. They're never full. I'm never gonna feel full without meat. I need my protein. And now they're hyper focusing on their hunger. Whereas before, they didn't really think about their hunger. Maybe this is you know, you just eat and move on. But now that you've developed this new healthy diet, it's like all you can think about is how hungry am I? Am I hungry? Am I full? I don't know what's going on. And that causes you to actually eat more food. You might notice that once you start thinking about food, then you start to become hungry. And now that you're thinking about food all the time, thinking about is this vegan, is this not vegan, you're actually eating more food. So now because you're hyper focusing on your diet, the more that you think about food, digestion starts in the brain. So the more you think about food, the more you are going to eat because your brain is gonna send signals to your body that you're hungry because you are thinking about food. It's like once you start talking about dessert and you start talking about foods that are really not yummy, you start to feel hungry, even though, oh my goodness, I probably wasn't actually hungry in the first place, but now that I'm talking about food, now I want to eat. If you're struggling with this, leave a comment that says same here so that you can see that you're not the only person that's going through this. And maybe you just realized now that I'm talking about it, oh my goodness, I do go through that. In which case, leave the comment. Same here. In my program, because I found that this was so common, I actually created an entire module in my program called Hunger and Fullness 101, where we relearn our body's natural hunger signals, and we learn a 0 to 10 scale and what hunger feels like at each one of those levels. Because I found that people were just so thrown off by their hunger and fullness because they're developing this new diet, or they've been dieting for years, that they were just so out of tune with their body's natural hunger signals, which is exactly why I created that module in the program. And now my clients are able to actually be in tune with their body's hunger, not be thinking about food all the time, and then not gain weight because they're eating too much food. Reason number 3 is, if you are asking yourself, is that vegan? If you're asking yourself that question, you're likely eating foods that are not contributing to your weight loss. Because when it comes to, is it vegan? You're probably looking at foods that are in packages, and you're probably looking at vegan junk food. We don't want to be eating these foods. When we are just eating starches, vegetables, fruits, and legumes, the foods that we eat on my Slim on Starch program, and the foods that make up a whole foods plant-based diet, these are real, whole, natural foods that you don't have to slap the label vegan across. I truly encourage people to just remove the word vegan from their diet, because people become so fixated on, is this vegan, is this vegan, is this vegan, that when they see that something's vegan, they buy it. So they'll see vegan ice cream, vegan burgers, vegan cheese, and they'll be buying all this vegan stuff that's actually really unhealthy and promotes weight gain because it's full of added oils and sodium and lots of processed sugar and junk. And yes, it might be vegan, and it's wonderful that it's cruelty-free and doesn't have any animal products, but it's not our friend when it comes to weight loss, and it's actually our friend when it comes to weight gain. So if you're asking yourself the question, is this vegan? I want you to step back and replace that question with, is this a whole food? Because you should be eating real whole foods that don't have labels. And if you're wondering, you're still confused by, I'm really not sure what these foods are that I'm supposed to be eating, I have a free weight loss grocery list that will very much help you. It's so easy to follow. It's laid out by sections of the grocery store. All you gotta do is print it out, and I put little check boxes. So if you like to check things off a list, this is it for you. So just go ahead and click the link in the description so that you can get your free weight loss grocery list right this instant. Instant access, honey. And then the last reason why you are likely gaining weight on a plant-based diet, or you just haven't lost the weight that you want, is because you're eating foods that are health foods that are not necessarily weight loss foods. So things like nuts, avocados, nut butters, maple syrup even. It's a pure, unrefined sugar, although it is a little bit refined. But things like nut butters and avocado, yes, they are wonderfully, wonderfully healthy foods, but they're not necessarily weight loss foods. And that's another thing that I teach in my program, is that there is a difference between healthy foods and weight loss foods. And a lot of times I'll see foods that are quote unquote weight loss foods that actually aren't healthy foods. And so we want to find this beautiful intersection between the healthy foods and the weight loss foods. And the intersection between those two is starches, vegetables, fruits, and legumes. It's potatoes, rice, beans, oats, corn, all of your beautiful vegetables, all of your beautiful fruits, the legumes, the beans, the peas, the lentils. Those are the foods that are healthy foods and weight loss foods. But then there are some foods that are healthy foods, but they're not necessarily going to help you lose weight, and they could actually be contributing to weight gain. The things like when you're putting nut butter on the Ezekiel bread, that is a wonderfully healthy meal. Ezekiel bread with nut butter on it, but it is not a weight loss meal. Or something like putting avocado and cashews on top of your pasta. That is a wonderfully healthy meal, you know, the avocado cashew cream sauce, but it's not going to help you lose weight. There's a difference between meals that are healthy and meals that are going to promote weight loss. And the difference in those two lies in whether you are eating unprocessed starches, vegetables, fruits, and legumes, or you're eating healthy foods that aren't starches, vegetables, fruits, and legumes, like nuts, nut butters, and avocados. That's it, honeys. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if this was helpful to you, and share it with somebody that might find it helpful as well, so that you guys can get started on this journey together. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Mwah.